There is so much like sweat behind developing a product, and there goes so much more than coding, and yeah, so much more. And if you're using some application and you see like a bug or something, don't get too mad, because yeah, that stuff is a lot harder than it seems. Yeah, it might seem like this is something easy, but yeah, I mean, mistakes happened. We were constantly making mistakes when developing, so yeah.
Hello everyone, I welcome you to the third episode of Sunray's Saloon podcast. Today I will be joined by Avda and Ahmed, the two developers who actually helped build this application and make it come to life. I hope you will enjoy our conversation and thank you for coming back again. I hope both of you are well. Thank you for coming here today. In the last two episodes, I spoke with Fahrudin, Rehan and Sandy, the three co-founders of Saloon platform. But today, and we already covered maybe first 6 months of implementing Saloon, but I wanted to ask you, the two of you, from your perspective, how was it coming into a new company and working on a new application from scratch as a fully fresh developers? I mean, you were at the starting point of your career.
Yeah, I mean, I can start with that because I was working first on this. So I was only familiar with implementing like a web application, and it was like surface level. But with Saloon, it was a bit different because we were thinking about a idea to implement on iOS and Android. We at first weren't sure what to implement. There were many like options of what we could add to that, but yeah, after some discussion, we came to the conclusion to work on a ordering app. I mean, mainly because Corpa was at the height of popularity back then. It was during COVID, and we thought that this could be helpful in restaurants at that time.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was like the initial idea.
Yeah. Did you feel like that idea was a good thing to implement at that point? I mean, for restaurants, for...
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it really had a point because, yeah, I mean, especially during COVID where we had to minimize like the contact between the waiters and the guests. So at that time, it looked like a very good idea. Yeah.
Was it overwhelming for you? I mean, you were just starting with your IT career, and I mean, how was it? You were the spine of the whole project. You had to create from scratch. Who were your mentors? Sandy and Rehan, right?
Yeah, I mean, they were our mentors, and yeah, they came also to the idea that the best way for us to learn to make application was to work on a real project that can be used. So no like mock data stuff, no like training, but go in deeply into the topic and the issue.
Yeah.
So
it was a great moment to start with an idea like that for unexperienced developers. We were just starting our career, and the best thing that could happen to us is starting the project from scratch without any pressure. We were just communicating with each other, talking with Rehan, Sandy, taking some advices, and we were implementing all that just by ourselves. And me and Avda were basically at the start trying to figure out ways where we could go with an app, thinking about features. We were just implementing things we thought that would be very interesting and that could be great thing for us when we come to restaurants or cafes as customers or anything like that. And in the beginning, Avda was the first one to start with mobile app from scratch. He was someone who basically investigated from the navigation and setup and all that. And after that, I just came and started coding. Avda prepared a lot of stuff for us, and it was a little bit easier. So Avda know
the structure of the project.
Basic structure, and he knows the pain through through the time until we were prepared to start coding. He was going through a lot, starting from scratch a few times, I think.
Yeah. I mean, basically what happened is that for stuff that back then I needed like a month to finish, I look now at it and see like, why did this take me a month to finish? Doesn't make sense, but yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of it, right?
Yeah, but you never encountered that issues and everything before. It was your first time,
right.
I mean,
yes.
it makes sense. How much were the two of you involved in picking technologies in which the application will be built in, and why did you specifically agreed on those which you used?
So I don't know if if we were asked if we want to use native or something like that. We were just talking with Sandy and Rehan and hearing their advices, and we just followed their guidelines, and that's it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it made sense to like use the technology that we use because what I practiced before I started working was JavaScript, and that is the main reason. That was like the foundation of our like coding knowledge for the beginning. Is something that it is widely spread. Everyone uses it, and yeah, we could like we could with one technology we could hit two different like user bases. So Android and iOS. So it was something realistic that we could implement and that we can finish in a realistic like time span.
Yeah, so when you started implemented the project, how did you divide tasks between the two of you?
Basically, if memory serves me, at the beginning, we didn't have some specific structure of how things were going. Just we had some daily or weekly meetings with senior staff, but basically we were just taking task by task, and we were just talking what to do next. What do you think, Avdo? Should we do this next or this? We had a lot of freedom to do whatever we want. We had a goal which we were trying to achieve, and we were just making our own steps, steps that we want, and steps were taken basically at the moment, which were the best at the time. Maybe we had a lot of bad decisions, which we, in the end, managed to overcome, and in the end, it was the best. But that was the beauty. Every day we came with everything was interesting to us. Every day we went to have a tea or coffee and talking about problems from the previous day and trying to help each other to overcome our problems in that moment, and just talking, what should we do now? What do you think, Avda? What do you think, Ahmed? So that was the way of the implementation at the beginning, until we formed some structure, meetings, and a whole process until we had a new joiners to project also.
Yeah. I mean, with Saloon, we had like a goal. we knew what we were supposed to do, what we have to make. I mean, not all the like specific steps, but we had like a big idea. But Sandy and Rehan looked at it from like they looked at the bigger picture. So we were just concentrated on Saloon, but Sandy and Rehan were somehow trying to lay the foundation of what our company will be and how we will do stuff. So yeah, that was like a big point for them. And looking back at it, I see what their intention was. So yeah.
So part of their bigger picture, of course, was to manage to for Avda and me to get to know a lot of stuff about React or any technology we were using at the time. And the basic goal was, if project doesn't go well, we will have foundations, we learn something, and we just go to the next project and so on. Yeah.
Both of you already mentioned something about your goals on this project. Were there those goals that Rehan and Sandy and Fahruddin put onto you, or did you create something of your own while working on the project? Did Saloon became yours, something like that? I mean,
basic goals were set up by Fahruddin, Rehan, and Sandy, of course. But we feel Saloon like our project, because through the whole process we were adding features we wanted, removing some of them, just hearing the customers, trying to look for the internet. Later we also did market research, and a lot of stuff there were involved. But I think Saloon is maybe, at least for now, the project that makes us smile every time we talk about it, because we went through a lot there and learned a lot. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, Saloon was like I don't know. I mean, first when I came, I was only concentrated. This is just my
perspective.
My perspective. Yeah. So I was just concentrated on finishing the task. But I mean, part of the bigger picture is because there were just two of us, we could like sync up. We could know where someone is stuck, what happened. But we also needed to consider like more team members might join, which happened eventually. But yeah, so that was like another aspect that Saloon helped us grow. So when we looked at Sandy and Rehan and why were they having meetings why were they having meetings? Why do they need to do that? What even is Scrum? What are those like management? Like I didn't really get the point of it. We didn't learn anything in like university about that. Yeah, I mean in the university we didn't. Okay, so yeah, so that part was also when Sandy and Rehan tried to they tried to show us why that is really important.
Yeah, basically building the whole product, not just the. Yeah. That's also a thing that I wanted to ask you. I mean, you grew obviously in your technical skills, but what aside from that did you learn during these processes and everything that you find really important? I don't know.
Yeah, so basically we didn't have any experience before joining this company, so we were there from the beginning of Saloon. So basically what we managed to go through was basically setting up processes, trying a few types of processes, also from the scratch, getting to know what we are good at, what we are not good at, communicating with each other, getting to know how communication is really important on every project, and basically that is one of the most important things when doing development, or I think any kind of business or any kind of work. So Avda mentioned Scrum. That is the only a small part of what we went through when talking about processes. Both of us got opportunity to be team leads, to lead other people, to think about project, weekly plans, monthly plans. What do we need to do? What we did wrong, to trying to solve the problem between people, problems on projects, and everything that I think in a bigger company on established project we wouldn't get chance to do. So experience we got from all that, I think it's a huge part of what we are today. Basically.
Yeah, I mean, what I learned from the whole experience is, basically, there is so much like sweat behind developing a product, and there goes so much more than coding, and so much more. And if you're using some application and you see like a bug or something, don't get too mad, because that stuff is a lot harder than it seems. It might seem like this is something easy, but I mean, mistakes happened. We were constantly making mistakes when developing, so just
not
keep that in mind.
Not constantly, sometimes.
Most of the time. We know how important it is as a developer to establish your I just forgot the word.
Just take your time.
Estimate your tasks. How were you, good or bad, at the beginning at estimating your tasks? And eventually, when did you think the product will be published? Were there any delays? Or
we were really, really bad. I don't think that the word for that exists in the real world.
I mean, I still haven't learned it.
I'm still struggling.
It was like really weird, because we were having like a Scrum meeting. I mean, a meeting with planning, and they were showing us like Fibonacci numbers, and they were like, estimate this, estimate that. I mean, I don't even know. I was working like 1 month on this stupid feature, so I mean, this basic one. So that was kind of scary. So because they were telling us that we will need eventually to tell what is the time span, when will we launch this product. So when will this feature be finished, when will that feature be finished. So in that sense, that was really important for that.
At that time I was a little bit different than Avda was a little preservative, I would say. When talking about estimates, we will finish everything today. Tomorrow we will be releasing project to production, and that's it. So if I say, I don't know, 5 story points, I would say, I don't know, 50.
You were off.
It's like a running gag in our company. Is that like Ahmed will do that in 20 minutes, in 1 hour?
But there was a time when they were preservative, and I was just talking that I will finish it in 2 days. I think, and few times I managed to succeed to finish the work that were planned for, I don't know, 2 weeks in 2 days.
Oh, well, that's nice.
2 long days, yeah.
Does that happen often?
That was just coincidence. That was just 2 cases.
Exception, not a rule.
Definitely not a rule.
I think you postponed the publishing of the Saloon, right?
So I don't know how clever will be to say our initial estimates when project will be finished. So
I'm embarrassed.
I'm just sit quietly here.
I mean, there was one time where we before launch we wanted to have like a pre-launch event in Tersaus directly. So we thought that we were ready for this. We can show that at least to
we were really ready.
Yeah.
Too confident.
Yeah, turns out that was not true. So yeah, I mean, we postponed it like I'm not sure how many months.
How many months?
Yeah,
not years. That's good.
Yeah,
yeah, but months. At the pre-launch events, there were some bugs, right?
Yeah. When we got there, the users basically couldn't log in.
Yeah.
Thank God you thought about pre-launch.
So starting pre-launch was really stressful.
Yeah, but during the first pre-launch event, yeah, it was pretty successful. I wouldn't say it was flawless, but there were some mistakes that happened.
Yeah, but we got very important feedback and opinions of other people. Yeah. So that was that was very important in the end when deciding which features will be in production, which won't make it there.
Yeah.
So.
But you were developers, but you were also the QA testers for the app, right?
We were
kinda. I mean, you were the only. Yeah. How was that? I mean,
planning tasks to developing to QAing to I don't know. Yeah. In the end, releasing it. And
yeah, we needed to come up with a system that will, with 3 or 4 of us, that will work. So we were kind of doing a circular thing where someone opens a PR and somebody else reviews that and somebody else then tests it, and everyone was working on every part of a project. So yeah, that was a system that we made.
But that's pretty much time consuming, I mean.
Pretty much time consuming, but the stuff we were doing then, from those stuff we learned a lot. So basically, when doing some feature and you are not developer on that feature, you are doing QA. Basically, you will. We needed to go through every aspect of it and test it properly. And to test it properly, we need to learn everything about that feature. And in the end, it was a bit time consuming. And in the end, basically, the knowledge we managed to get from that part of our career when we were doing also QA helped us to know how really QA job is not that easy.
Yeah. You mentioned team lead roles. At what part of the project did you decide that team lead is something that you need to have, and why?
Why? That would be a question for Rehan and Sandy.
So they
initiated that idea because they wanted to try to for us to know and to have I would say responsibility and when taking responsibility for something, to finish your part in that, and when not finishing, to know why we didn't finish something, and just to take the full responsibility by the team and to learn something from it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, looking back at how I thought at the time, yeah, I was thinking that it wasn't necessary, but yeah, it is, because we weren't familiar with. I mean, we could talk day to day what someone has worked on, but we weren't really sure. So we needed those daily meetings, and someone needed to be someone needed to give answers to Rehan and Sandy. They were product owner at that time. So someone needed to be there to know everything what is going on with the app, and that someone can give like a report to Rehan and Sandy. So that was like the idea of it.
Yeah, and through that process, we learned something about ourselves, of our capabilities, I think, and what we can do and can do, and yeah, it's important for the future. Yeah.
Did you think you managed that role pretty well, or which one of you was the first
I was
team
the
lead?
best.
I was the best.
Yeah.
That's so Ahmed to say.
I mean, I can say that Ahmed has really laid the foundations on that one. If I were to implement it first, I don't think it would be half as successful. So he took the lead role first, and it gave me a lot of like boost, because when I was the team lead, I already had everything in front of me, and I could just continue working and making some of my own like changes. But yeah, that Ahmed's previous experience with like the management, it was like really helpful for us.
Yeah.
Basically. So I started first. And
the fact that you said I'm the best, Avda just confirmed, kind of.
So that was not my intention.
Yeah, right.
Really good friend.
Yeah, right.
So I think we both did good, and in some parts I think he was better. In some parts I was better, and which is normal. And I was said that I started first, and that was really, really interesting, because I had to Google everything and processes, and talk to Sandy, Rehan, what are my responsibilities, what I need to do, how to talk with the team. I had a previous experience in leading some teams and projects, but which were not tech related. So no matter I had those previous experiences, it was a new thing for me. Need to know some definitions, basically, and after that, it was really easy to adjust those processes to our needs, and to see what we need and what we don't need, and to manage to have a documentation of everything. I would say documentation freak at the moment. I wanted to have everything written on sheets, and I think Avda would confirm that. Yeah, so it was interesting part of this project, and team lead role is very interesting. It gives you, I would say, a lot of power in one way, but a lot of responsibilities and consequences that you need to take for the team when something is going wrong.
Yeah. But do you think the atmosphere in the team changed for the better when you decided for someone to be a team lead, or was it, I don't know?
Team atmosphere was really good through whole process, I think. So basically we had a great team and great people in it, so that wasn't a problem, I think. And most of the time, 90% of the time, there could be some issues when switching roles and something, because you need to adapt to a new role. Yesterday you were team lead, tomorrow you do a different kind of job, you do more QA, and you don't do any team leading. So it was great to do few adjustments to your role and responsibilities through the process.
Yeah, I mean, the whole team lead thing was not like to make someone be in charge, because if we were to answer to Rehan or Sandy, we would all be like grilled if we didn't do something good. So that was like we knew that, and we were aware of that. So actually, after every sprint, we had like a testing. We had like a whole day for testing, where we go through all the features, and more often than not, we were like coming back like really really I
Heads
don't
down
know.
low.
Yeah, we were thinking everything's finished. We did this good, and we go through them. We see, not everything is working as expected, and we were also aware of that. That we I think at least that we worked there as a team. We were collectively trying to make things better there, and every time when we came like that, we didn't lose the motivation. Yeah, I mean, after that we were always like, can't wait for next sprints to fix all of these.
So
we would need maybe 2 days to recover after unsuccessful testing, and then that day, Friday afternoon, I think, or Monday afternoon, I'm not sure even. So that day was a really bad mood. So we had a weekend to recover. So Avda mentioned that we were really close to releasing the product, and we had a company meeting where we set the goal to, I think, to have a release in 2 months, I think. And when we got to the final sprint, where we had to be finished with all the work, we were thinking, we are on a good path, so we will be finished soon. So this sprint and that's it. And we had a testing day, and we found 20 bugs which we need to solve, and we had, I think, maybe 2 or 3 more repetitions of fixing only bugs and producing new ones, and that period was really stressful, sad and stressful, and we lost motivation in few moments there, but we as a team got I would say from all of that stronger, and we rise every time like Phoenix.
Poetic. I also wanted to mention, but you already kind of answered it, the motivation part. I mean, it's not easy. Like having pre-launch event, everything fails. I mean, it's normal. It's just normal for you for motivation to be down. How did you handle that? I mean, just let it pass for a few days, the whole depressing part?
I just started going on Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Well, that's something.
And that's a way. With some people there. So.
Was anyone hurt during the process?
No.
Were you intimidated then?
I was not hurt for sure. So for other people, I can't grab.
So how to kind of motivated you, like you were scared, maybe? If I produce a bug?
But by you see those muscles?
Yeah, okay. I mean, I wouldn't say that. I mean, we were like hurt after that. Yeah, there were like moments where we were down, but if it wasn't such like a good vibe between us, then I don't think we could have gone through with it. We wouldn't even publish it. So, yeah.
But where do you think that good vibe came from? I mean, is it the way atmosphere, or the way the work was with Sandri and Reyhan and Fahrudi?
The atmosphere was great from the beginning. So Sandri and Reyhan and me, Avda, from the start clicked. We had a good vibe. We could talk with our bosses, basically joke around or do anything. In some moments, they found some way to motivate us, to tell us their experience, their faults, and how have they risen from that. And so I think without their help, also this wouldn't be possible. So when having no motivation in a few moments, they were there to motivate us. So they were a huge part of the motivation. And
yes, Yes, but also I think another key element is actually the Saloon. Saloon. It was our first project. It is something that we will launch, and that is something that will represent us. And we took it like everyone took Saloon like it's their own like product, and we made this, and we can show that to people and say, look at this. Yeah,
we made this.
Yeah. So that was like the motivation. I think that is what motivated us to go through all of those moments. So, and everyone in the team took it like that.
Yeah.
We got the opportunity to go in some bar or restaurant and approach some girl with, "Can I show you some what I mean?"
Can we cut this out?
No.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, looking back now, are you satisfied with the work you have done from the beginning? And do you think that there are some, everything that happened the way it happened for a reason, I'm sure, but do you feel like you could have done something maybe differently and it could have affected the whole project?
Yeah,
in bad or in a good way?
We could do a lot of things better, but we wouldn't be here where we are, and I think we are satisfied where we are, and that's the whole point. So I wouldn't change a thing there. So maybe some small details, but on the goal which we reached and places where we are now speaks for themselves. So
yeah, because the company was at the beginning and Saloon was at the beginning, and maybe you could have gone to some other, I don't know, company, or that they had some established projects or external clients or anything.
But we wouldn't gather this type of experience and this amount of experience.
Yeah.
So it was really useful and interesting, and
yeah, for sure. I think that working for a bigger company, that we would work like on some feature, or at least only on the UI. We wouldn't see anything what happens besides that. So we we like dabbled our fingers into DevOps, into like backend, how that is implemented. And we were aware, like from a developer perspective, what all goes into the project. And besides that, we also saw what goes from the marketing standpoint and how to show that app to people. So we were fully aware of what goes into one product.
And how tough is for one project to make it and to be used by a lot of people. Making a project is just one part. Marketing and sales is also an important part, and it's a whole another world. And a lot of goals needs to be achieved there also. So I would say that making a project is just halfway to the final goal, which is a successful application or project.
Yeah. So I feel like through that 1 year, was it 1 year when you, how long did it take for Saloon to actually?
2 months. I don't remember really, but it was a long period of time. Over a year for sure, I think.
Over a year, yeah. But I feel like
I think from March or April to May or June. I'm not sure.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
I'm bad with dates.
That means 2 months.
That's what I said.
2 months basically.
That's what I said.
Nice. No, I just feel like for a year, maybe and a half, let's say, give or take, you grew not just as developers, but also as persons, as management, on the management side, processes. You basically have establishing everything. So I feel like, that's very useful and
yeah. You won't get that type of experience somewhere else.
So come to sunray.
Come to sunray. Okay. Thank you. We can stop here and actually talk about after the launch next time.
Yeah.
But I appreciate your thoughts and thank you for sharing them with us.
Thank you for
I'll
having
see
us,
you.
Samila.
Thanks.
Yeah.